Hey world builders, welcome back to Build Together. This is day 172. Today's prompt is, what is an example of a scientific investigation of a certain topic in your world? And this comes from Goblin the Great in the Discord and on TikTok. This is probably the longest Build Together I've ever written. It was about 2,200 words yesterday. I had the day off as a bit of a surprise, and so I just really cranked something out that I had wanted to work on for a long time, and this prompt that Goblin the Great had submitted was perfect for that. And this is specifically a full chapter from a thorough study in monstrous biology and its linkage to the Kraken, a book in World of Atopia by Velo Ren. The excerpt from chapter 4, which is basically almost all of chapter 4, it describes the sort of day-to-day process of this group that Velo Ren had taken into the grass forest and their observation of a group of goblins. At first it's just 3, and then those are met by 4 more, and they form what's like a little tribe. They form a structure. When they're just 3, they just kind of are wandering in a direction, and they find a place of petra bushes, which is something that often attracts goblins, and then they are joined by 4 more, and then a tribal structure emerges, and then a few more join, and then another tribe joins, and there's a scuffle until one of the tribal chiefs is killed, and then the others are immediately subsumed into that group. Once a group gets big enough, the sort of faux tribal structure, as Velo Ren likes to call it, disappears completely, and they stand like still and motionless, and then they start moving all as one. And then they're like following them, and then they arrive at a different location where they stand still for days. This like freaks everyone out that's involved in the process. Velo has a couple of wards that are with him, and they're like freaking out about this as well. And then that like what ends up sort of ending this investigation is that 2 trolls end up stumbling into the camp, or not the camp. 2 trolls end up stumbling into the clearing where these goblins are standing motionless, and they're doing their sort of normal, low, grumbling, troll-like thing, and then the moment they get within a certain distance, they are immediately incorporated into whatever this weird stillness is. And then the moment that this happens, the whole group immediately speeds off at a like light jog towards the nearest settlement, which Vela, who had hired a couple of warriors and stuff, one of the warriors that is vigilant about geography tells him this, and so they go ahead and they tell people there, and they try to harry them from the trees and stuff in the meantime to slow these creatures down, but they like ignore them. It's a whole thing. Velo concludes a bunch of really useful information about true monsters from this, though, which changes the way that Atovia views them from then on. If you're really interested, I do recommend going and reading it in full on the Discord. But otherwise, what is an example of a scientific investigation of a certain topic in your world? Thanks for building together.